The silence in the house after midnight has a different texture now. Not the hollow hum of the refrigerator or the skeletal creak of floorboards settling. Something faint, like breathing through clenched teeth. They floated belly up by dawn. He didn't cry. Late nights, I catch him murmuring to the tank. No, to the filter. The new one growls louder than the old, vibrating the water into tiny tremors. His teacher emailed yesterday, distracted, repeats phrases about balance. The smell started Sunday, wet pennies and burnt hair. Nick's fingers leave faint rust-colored smudges on his lunchbox. He says it's ketchup. I don't buy ketchup. Tonight, rain taps the windows like impatient fingers. Nick's door is cracked, revealing a sliver of blue LED light from the tank. His Jurassic Park figure stands in a neat circle facing the wall. A plastic stegosaurus lies on its side, belly split open. When I touched it yesterday, tiny beads spilled out, popcorn kernels, dry and hollow. He mumbles in his sleep now. Not words, sounds, guttural, wet. The thermostat reads 71 degrees, but my breath mists when I lean closer. I should check the carbon monoxide detector, but I know it's working. The green light glows. It always glows. The filter's growl cuts off. Sudden silence floods the room, thick as the static between radio stations. Nick's eyelids flutter, pale, veined. Blue light ripples across his throat. Water laps against glass. Not the idle rock of a half-full tank, but a rhythm. Knock. Pause. Knock, knock. His lips barely move. Whispers thread through clenched teeth. Too cold. Too cold. The fish tank water's black. Not murky. Dense. Like oil. No bubbles. No life. How long since he stopped feeding them? Rain shudders against the roof. When I step closer, my reflection in the glass doesn't move. Frozen. Eyes hollowed into charcoal smudges. Nick's hand snakes out from beneath the covers, palm upturned. Clumps of silver sludge cling to his skin, weeping. Not rust! Scales! They're listening, he rasps. The carbon monoxide detector's green light flickers. The sludge drips, viscous, onto the carpet. It doesn't soak in. It curls, twists like algae in a current. Outside, the rain stops. The house holds its breath. Something shifts in the tank. Not a fish. A suggestion of pressure, of jaws hinging. Nick smiles. For a second, his teeth gleam needle-thin. They're hungry, Mom. The detector's light dies. Green bleeds to red. The sludge pulls around my ankles, cold and impossibly slick. It pulses. Nick's fingers dig into my wrist, hotter than fever, scales catching the dim light like shattered glass. Can't you hear them? His voice splinters, halfway between a child's whimper and something clicking through drowned lungs. I do. Not in the air. In my temples, a wet hum, gills fluttering against bone. The tank exhales, a long, rotting sigh that raises the hair on my arms. My unmoving reflection smears, eyes pooling black, mouth a wobbling void. That's not me! That's not... Behind the glass, shadows thicken. A shape undulates, too large, too jointed. No. Shadows don't breathe. Don't press starved fingertips against barriers. Nick's grip twists. Silver blooms beneath his nails, fungal bright. Don't look away, he says, too many teeth crowding each syllable. The sludge climbs my calves, syrupy weight whispering through denim. Alive. Rain starts again. No, not rain. A patter of wet scales hitting the windowsill. The carbon monoxide detector shrieks a single strangled beep. Red light seeps up the wall, staining everything the color of capillaries. I try to step back. The sludge holds. Something cracks in the tank. Glass? Bones? Nick tilts his head, throat working around a wet chuckle. Almost time, he says, and the red light catches in his widened pupils. Spiraling. Whorls of oil-slicked coral, currents pulling. His smile widens. The sludge whispers in my veins. The walls ripple. Not the light, the plaster itself warping like drowned wood. Nick's fingers leave heap-blistered crescents on my skin. When I blink, they glow faintly, phosphorescent. The sludge thickens, honey, heavy, humming nursery rhymes in a language that slicks between my molars. Hush now, don't cry! His breath hitches, a wet, gurgling rhythm. Nick's jaw unhinges, strands of saliva stretching and snapping. Stay with me, he rasps, tongue forking on the spa. The detector's crimson glow stripes his collapsing cheeks. My reflection splinters, cheek caving like rotten fruit. Eye a brine vortex, needle-thin teeth patter against the tank. Darkness oozes out thick as congealed blood. Cold. seeps marrow deep as sludge fuses denim to flesh. Nick's pupils devour their brown irises, becoming voids ringed with fever gold. He smiles. "They're almost here," Nick whispers. The sludge surges warm against my hips as the detector dies. Darkness swallows the room whole. In the dark, the thing in the tank exhales. My lungs burn. The sludge murmurs, "Yours!" with a voice like rotting seaweed. The sludge's final whisper, "Ours!" echoes through my dissolving bones. Something wet and endless clicks its approval. The sludge binds, no, embraces me. My breath sinks to the tank's labored pulse, each inhale syrupy sweet with decay. Nick's voice flutters against my collarbone, but his lips don't move. Or perhaps he no longer has thick lips. The dark is viscous, tactile, alive. It presses into my nostrils, coats my tongue with the taste of rust and oyster brine. Something thrums beneath my sternum. Rhythm irregular, a wet crunch. Nick's silhouette shimmers, spine elongating, joints bending the wrong way with a sound like celery snapping. He giggles, a warped, childish trill as his fingers spider up my forearm. The tank lid groans open. A sigh escapes, verdant and fungal. Shadows coil, thorned and whispering as something rises, glass shards chiming, water sloshing thick as gelatin. My reflection in the shards, eyes gone, sockets swarming with silver minnows. "Almost," croons the sludge, seeping into my ears. "Breathe them in!" Breathe them in. Nick's face presses close. His nostrils are caverns now, exhaling spores that glint like fireflies. I gasp. They spiral into my throat, take root. My teeth ache. My gums split. The first incisor drops, clinks against the floor. From the gap, a tendril unfurls, tasting the air. I understand. Finally, mercifully, I open my mouth wider. The tendrils branch, fractal brittle, rooting in my jawbone. Voice gone, but the not voice remains, humming through coral-laced veins. "Home!" it purrs, silt-heavy. Nick's hand dissolves against my chest, petals of ash. His remaining eye blinks once. "An offering!" My lungs collapse. No need. The sludge breathes for me now, each capillary feeding on thickened oxygen. The cracks in my ribs bloom with hyphae, knitting me to the tank's pulsating walls. Fluorescent light fractures through shattered glass above. Childhood. Lemonade stands, the smell of grass. I let it gutter out, sink beneath the black. Nick's spine curls into an arabesque above me, moth-wing ribs, clavicle, a cathedral arch. Our remaining teeth interlock, not a kiss, fusion. We become raw data. Honeycomb. Hive. The tank disintegrates. We drip through floorboards into fertile dark, joined to pipes, root systems, the town's septic underbelly. Above, footsteps. A dog barks. Our many mouths water, you'll drink us soon enough. We're in the water now, waiting, ripening. Come, we hum, thirst.